Okay, we're in the Spectre booth here with Suzie Bauter with her 63 Rambler Wagon. Suzie, this is a beautiful car. It's got so much attention. Tell us, firstly, what it is.
Well, as you mentioned, it's a 1963 Rambler American wagon by American Motor Cars Company, AMC, who is long since out of business. I built this car, I purchased this car because it was small, and I'm an autocrosser, so I needed something. I wanted a wagon, and I wanted something that was different, but I needed something that had a shorter wheelbase in order to autocross, so this just fit the bill on all accounts.
So for Australians watching, what is autocross?
So I like to compare it to going to a box shopping place, like a Walmart maybe, on a Sunday afternoon, and flooring it and dodging the shopping carts and the people. That's basically what we do.
Right. Okay.
We drive as fast as we possibly can around a very short course.
So how did you get into this sport?
Well, my husband, he started racing our Camaro. We actually have a first-gen Camaro, and I stood by and I watched and I took pictures and I was the good wife, and I just finally I'm a car person at heart, and I thought, why am I not doing this? There's plenty of other women out there. So originally I thought, I'll buy a car, we'll build it, and I'll start autocrossing. Well, we got partially into the build, and I said, I want to start autocrossing now, so I want the other car. So we've been sharing our Camaro now for a few years, and now I'm very anxious to get this car out and going.
Awesome. So tell us about a few of the modifications you've done to make it go around corners and stop and handle completely the way a 63 Rambler would not have done.
Not even close. As a grocery getter, this had a tiny little flathead 6 in it with a three in the tree little transmission that's about 2/3 the size of a shoebox. Tiny. And so we have replaced that with a 5.3 liter LS, and I have a 700 R4 transmission behind it with a special valve body from TCI, which allows for engine braking. It's specific to autocross. So I'm very excited to try that out. I've been racing in manual transmissions up to this point, so I'm kind of excited to see what I can do with an automatic.
Are automatics becoming popular in autocross?
I don't know if they're becoming, but we are starting to see them start to proliferate. You lose at minimum a quarter of a second to shift, and that's if you're really good and you've got a really short shifter. So the notion behind it is that if you can get the engine braking out of the automatic, there really isn't a reason to not run an automatic. Especially, there's a lot of people that run paddle shifters. I've got a ratchet shifter on the floor, but that's mostly because paddle shifting gets confusing, and it depends on where you mount them and how easy that is, and that's just not my thing. So I wanted the traditional feel of a stick shift, if that matters.
I think it does. It'd be fun. Bang, bang, bang through the gears.
Exactly.
And tell us about the chassis stuff.
So this is originally a unibody car. So in order to put performance parts on it, we had to really look at what cars we could draw from in order to have enough choice for aftermarket products. So we put a first-gen Camaro front subframe under the car and a full custom suspension that is, it's a conglomeration of parts. My husband, I'm lucky enough, he's a kind of a geek when it comes to suspension, so that's his thing. And then we looked at all of our options for rear suspension and decided that with a 101-inch wheelbase car, why shouldn't we just make it like a Corvette? So we put a 5th-gen Camaro independent rear suspension cartridge back there, and which oddly enough on this tiny little car fit quite well. I know, it's almost unheard of, but so that gave us the independent rear suspension with the short wheelbase, and we're 1 pound off of 50-50 weight balance, and it should corner like just a rocket on rails.
So the big question, will this be faster than your husband's Camaro?
It might be. I know. Fingers crossed. I'm not a faster driver than he is. I'm close. If I can keep within 3/4 of a second of him, then I know I'm having a good day, and that's most of the time. I'm not necessarily as competitive as the men, but truth be told, I don't really have to be because I'm never last. So, and I'm always having as much or more fun. Yeah. And I think in this thing, this is just going to be a ride. And I'm very, very anxious to see people see what you can do in your home garage, and go out and race and have a good time in something that's not a Camaro or a Mustang.
So you guys built this all at home?
We did. We built this entire car in our garage at home. I do have a dear friend who's a master painter, and he's the one who made it look so pretty. But we literally built every single thing. I sewed the interior and the carpet myself. My husband did. So much welding. I can't even begin to tell you how many piles of welding wire kept showing up in the mail. All at home. We don't have a lift, so we did this on the ground with jack stands and 2x4s, and good old backwoods country fabrication.
In Australia, we say "good on ya, mate." Yeah.
There you go.
Is this a car you can drive on the street?
Yes, absolutely. It's 100% streetable. I have overdrive, so I can pack it up with all my racing gear, and I can drive to the races. In theory, I could tow my husband's car. Yeah.
I would love to see this in the street. It's so cool. It's such a very Australian car. We love wagons back home. We love oddball cars. So this ticks all the boxes for us.
I'm so happy about that because that's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for something that was an oddball, not outlandishly. I wasn't looking to build something that was just so loud it screamed, I'm a weirdo. But I wanted it to be different, and I wanted it to be unique.
I think you've achieved that. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming by.
No problem.